What a crazy world we're living in. And all across this world, it's absolutely wild, crazy, dangerous. And of course, there are some good things in between. And here in the United States, there's no exception to that. It is wild and crazy and dangerous with some good things in between. One of the good things is this book. If you can see the cover of that, try not to get the sheen on it. It's called Lies About Black People by Dr. Omokongo Dibinga. It's a book that's just come out. I really do urge you to read this really important book. And I urge you to tell your friends about the book as well. This book is a book that you really need to be reading. You really do. And it's a timely book as well, because as you know, in the state of Florida, there is the Department of Education there that's put up this crazy notion of wanting to teach students in classrooms across Florida that enslavement of Black people was somehow beneficial to them. Obviously, enslavement of Black people was not beneficial at all in any way to Black people. You and I both know this. And what you're seeing is the gaslighting, the racism, the anti-Black racism, and all of this effort by people like Ron DeFascist or Ron DeSatan or Ron DeSantis to obliterate any contributions by Black people to history, and then also by, at the same time, doing what the Department of Education is doing now, having a curricula that says that Black people being enslaved was beneficial to them. This is extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. And it's something that cannot be tolerated whatsoever. Each of us, everyone watching this video, must raise their voices against this nuttiness and very dangerous and obscene gaslighting by Florida, by the Department of Education in Florida, and by, of course, the governor of that wretched state, the wretched governor of that state, the fascist governor of that state. Make sure you raise your voices on your social media channels, on your podcasts, and to your friends against this evil that Florida and the Department of Education there and the fascist governor there are all perpetrating. We cannot afford to be silent in these times. As you see in countries like France, when injustice happens, you have millions of people in the streets. As you see in countries like Israel, when injustices happen, where you've got an Israeli government now that is making the courts next to irrelevant in Israel when it comes to the judicial bill that's been passing there or that has passed. You have hundreds of thousands of people in the streets in Tel Aviv. It's happening right now as I speak, as I record this. So the question becomes, why aren't we in the United States in the streets when it is so abundantly clear that the Republicans and these other fascists in that party are doing everything they can to roll this country back to the 1820s? Not the 1950s, the 1820s. This is very urgent. And again, we all must vote. Make sure you check your voter registration right now. You can go to vote.gov. That's vote, vote.gov, vote.gov, and check your voter registration there and make sure you vote. Vote in every election, local, state, and federal. Make sure you do that. Please do not miss a local election. Do not miss a statewide election. Do not miss a federal or general election. You cannot afford to. Your vote is the only thing you have. It's your one power against power. It's your check against power. You have to understand that your vote means everything, and you've been tricked and hoodwinked into believing that your vote doesn't matter. Well, let me tell you something. Your vote does matter. The Republicans would not be trying to strip away your vote or make it harder for you to vote if your vote didn't matter. Your vote matters. Voting matters. The Republicans wouldn't have passed over 600 bills across this country in various state legislatures if your vote didn't count, if they thought your vote didn't matter. Trust me, they know it matters. So why don't some of us know that? Why don't some of us understand that? Well, there's a lot of miseducation. There's a lot of gaslighting and disinformation, and a lot of trolls and bots on social media and all that kind of nonsense. And there's a lot of Fox News watchers. So, of course, lots of people will get confused and will start to think that up is down and down is up. And of course, when you don't have a good education system at all in the United States, a rather crappy one, yeah, you're going to get people thinking like this and voting or not voting. You're going to have people voting against their own best interests, or you're going to have them not voting at all. And what we need to do is vote. Vote for ourselves, for our own best interests. Vote for making a country a better place in which to live. We don't need grandiose terms. We don't need a country to be great. We need a country to respect all of the people who live in it, a country to give a fair shake to everybody in it. That is what we need here in the United States. And we need justice for people who look like I do. We need people to have personal autonomy. We need to allow for any woman or any pregnant person to choose what they wish to do with their own bodies. We need to have better health care in this country. These are just a few of the things we need. Stronger voting rights bills. Believe me, the United States Supreme Court, if the United States Supreme Court felt that your vote did not matter or didn't count, they wouldn't have in 2013 stripped away a key section of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. They wouldn't have done that if they felt that your vote didn't count or that voting didn't matter. I just want you to understand that this is very important, and I think you know that. And this book, once again, is very, very important. So please buy your copy of Dr. Omokongo Dibinga's book, his brand new book, Lies About Black People. And make sure you send a copy to one of your friends or your relatives in the state of Florida.